Hi, I'm Adam, and welcome back to Bethesda Woodworks. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that I love, tools. Specifically, cheap tools. Even more specifically, good cheap tools. If you're wondering if good cheap tools actually exist, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll agree with me that yes, they do. If you've never heard of a website called AliExpress, it's an offshoot of Alibaba, which is kind of like Asia's version of Amazon. They have lots of deals on tools, some of them really, really cheap, and I've bought quite a number of them. Some of them have been bad, some of them have been okay, and some of them have been really surprisingly good. So in this video, I'm going to show the top 5 tools that I've gotten from AliExpress that I think are not just good, but great. But they're also cheap. Now, one thing to keep in mind with AliExpress is there are lots of different sellers that are selling the same thing, and the prices are different from one seller to the next. The prices are also going to be different based on whether or not they have certain deals or specials going on. So the prices that I'm showing may not be the actual prices at the time that you're watching this. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what I paid, and I'm also going to compare the prices to some of the other prices that I've found elsewhere. But make sure you watch to the end, because the 5th tool that I'm going to show you will probably really shock you. It definitely shocked me. So with that, let's get started. First on my list is a tool that I use all the time. It's a carpenter's pencil. You've probably seen other woodworking YouTubers use these for a very good reason. They're very popular because they're inexpensive and they work great. On Amazon, you can find these for about $3 each. I found this one along with black, yellow, and red refills for $1.79. Now, I mainly use this to mark on darker woods, so I got a pack of white refills for $1.53. Now, I mainly use this for marking on darker woods. For marking on lighter woods like pine or maple, just using a regular pencil is fine. But for marking on walnut, that's really hard to see. With the white carpenter's pencil, that's a whole lot better. If you're wondering, can you really get a quality tool for less than $3? Well, this one actually feels very solid, even though it's mostly made of plastic. It's got a nice click mechanism to it, and it has a built-in sharpener on the back, just like all the other ones that I've seen. So do I think this is worth $3? Absolutely. The next great cheap tool from AliExpress is this 6-inch flush cut saw. I got this for $4.46 from AliExpress. I found this exact same saw from the exact same brand on Amazon for $19.99. Now, a saw is only as good as its sharpness, so the question is, does this saw cut? Yup. Now, taking a closer look at the cut surface, I haven't done any sanding on this, and there actually wasn't any tear out at all. That was just a little bit of fuzz. But again, it's a really nice clean surface. Now, the main thing that I use this saw for is for cutting off dowels, and the saw needs to be flexible for that, which this one definitely is. Now, I know Amazon doesn't always have the cheapest prices, but this saw was literally 25% the cost on AliExpress than it was on Amazon. It works fantastic, which is why it has a permanent place right there. All right, that's 2 for 2. Let's move on to number 3. Next, I'm going to talk about this digital inclinometer or angle finder. I got this on AliExpress for $4.99. I found this exact same brand on Amazon for $15. And there are several others that are very similar on Amazon that I found for between $20 and $30. This has a nice bright light, and it finds the angle very quickly. It has a pretty strong magnet on the bottom so that you can stick it wherever you need it. The numbers will also flip over depending on how you're using it. I use this thing all the time with my table saw to make sure that the blade is square with the table, or to make sure that the angle that I set the blade is exactly right. I also use it with my bandsaw for setting the table at a certain angle, and to make sure that my jointer fence is square with the tables. In my opinion, this was a huge bargain for just $5, especially compared to all the other options out there that are 4 to 5 times as much. Now, one of the tools that I use a lot in the shop is countersink drill bits. I got this set of 4 several years ago for probably about $20 or so, but it never really hit me how much pressure I actually had to use to drill them into the wood. I got this one on AliExpress for $1.54. Let's compare these. For this test, I'll be using this piece of very dry, very hard white oak. I'll start with my old bit. Now, it was probably hard to tell, but that took quite a bit of effort to countersink that. And now, the bit from AliExpress. Again, you couldn't tell, but that was absolutely effortless. Now, are the holes any cleaner with the new bit compared to the old bit? I'll let you be the judge. Now, I saw a pack of 5 of these on Amazon for $13, so they're not terribly expensive, but I don't need 5 of them, I just need 1. So for $1.50, this is worth every penny. And now for a bonus tool. I didn't want to put this one into its own category because it's very similar to the last one, but it's a countersink bit with a built-in depth stop. With this bit, you can drill as deep as you want. Like that. But with the built-in depth stop, you're guaranteed to have a perfect hole every time. Now for this bit, I paid about $3.50. There are much more expensive versions that you can buy on Amazon for between $20 and $30, but this exact bit on Amazon is $9. This one works great for 1/3 the price. All right, we made it to the end. You remember at the beginning of the video when I said that at the end there was going to be a tool that might shock you? Well, here it is. It's a 6-inch or 15-centimeter pocket rule. If this looks familiar, it's because it's a near clone of the woodpecker's 6-inch rule. Now, just like the woodpecker's version, this one has 2 thumb screws, so you can lock down the adjustment. It also is in both SAE and metric, and it has these marks for your pencil for 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. Another nice feature is that the ruler itself is exactly 1 inch wide. Now, you may be thinking that a measurement tool is only as good as how accurate it is. So let's find out if this is actually accurate, starting with the width. Is this actually 1 inch wide? Yes, it is. Now, I've bought a few rulers in my life where the scale is actually not accurate. So I'll compare it to my crescent ruler, which I know is accurate. And when you line them up, it is perfect. Okay, so the SAE scale is accurate, but what about metric? Well, when you line that up, it's also perfect. A rather surprising feature of this ruler is that the numbers and measurements are actually laser etched. They're not just printed on, so there's nothing that can be scratched off. Okay, we've now established that the scales are accurate, but if a square isn't square, then it's no good. Well, the best way to see if something is square is by putting it on a flat surface, striking a line, flipping it over, and then striking another line. If the 2 lines match up, then it's square. And that is about as good as it gets. So finding an accurate and precise ruler isn't the shocking part. The price is. Before I tell you what I paid, you can buy the woodpecker's version on their website for $35 plus shipping, or you can get it on Amazon for $45. The knockoff on AliExpress was $2.39. Now, I don't want anyone to misunderstand me. I am not making this video to denigrate woodpeckers or Amazon or any other company. I know that Woodpeckers makes fantastic tools. They're just a little pricey. But if you can afford it and you're willing to pay those kinds of prices, Woodpeckers is a fine way to go. However, if you're like me and you prefer to spend your money elsewhere, AliExpress is a great option too. Unfortunately, not all of the tools that I've gotten from AliExpress have been good. Some of them have actually been kind of awful. So if you want any more information on any of that stuff, or
any of the other stuff that you see behind me, just let me know down in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please let me know by doing all of the stuff that you know that you can do to support small channels like mine. I hope to see you next time.